This is the special organizational meeting of the Town Council, Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. The agenda has been distributed. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, be seated. Number 2 on the agenda is mayor's remarks, but I promise to keep it very short. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to welcome the new members, including myself. I want to extend a welcome to the veteran members who are returning, and I look forward to working with everybody and finding that common interest that way. I know that we all have in working towards a better New Milford. So, thank you. Number 3 on the agenda is the appointment of the recording secretary. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Judy Lynn Thurlow
Second.
for the term December 1st, 2015 to November 30th, 2017.
Any other nominations? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained?
Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Julie Furlow has been appointed the recording secretary. Number 4 on the agenda, we have the appointment of the vice chairman. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Mary Jane Lundgren.
Second. Second, please. Any other nominations? We'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Mary Jane Lundgren is appointed the vice chairman for a 2-year term. Number 5 on the agenda, the appointment of parliamentarian. Do we have nominations?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Scott Chamberlain as parliamentarian.
Second.
Any other nominations? Welcome, Mr. Bass.
Thank you, Mayor.
All in favor? Well, just for Mr. Bass. I'm sorry. Was there a second for the appointment?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's been a second for the appointment of Scott Chamberlain as parliamentarian. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I'd just like to thank Walter Bayer for his service the last 2 years as parliamentarian.
So
And
Mr.
Mr. Bass.
He's rendered so many crucial decisions.
I can pass the golden book. Pass the golden book to the new parliamentarian. There it is.
And while we're at it, because he was late, I'd like to thank Pete for his tenure as a vice chairman, and that was very helpful, reading the motion so we didn't have to.
Thank you.
Here, here.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving to number 6 on the agenda. We have the appointment of town attorney. In your package was a retainer agreement between the town and John Tower and Randy DeBella. I don't think any of these individuals need any introduction or discussion. Randy DeBella has been the town attorney for the past 12 years, and in that capacity, John Tower has also represented the town in many various matters. I would say that the retainer is 95% the same as the prior retainer. The retainer amount, $2,500, is the same, and it's not doubled by the fact that there are 2 town attorneys. So regardless of whether they're both working or it's one or the other, it's the same retainer amounts. So I would move to, well, I can't move, but is there a motion to appoint John
So
Tower?
move. Second.
Take you to this one.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstained?
I'm going to abstain because I personally had a relationship with that firm for many years.
Very good, understandable, thank you. John Tower and D. Randall DeBella are appointed town attorneys. And with that motion, I will execute the retainer agreement that is attached in the packet. Number 7 on the agenda, setting the 2016 Town Council meeting schedule. You can see that in the packet as well. It's the second and fourth Mondays of the month, with the exception of July, August, and December. Oh, and I would note, this is part of number 8 as well, but the time is noted, and there's a time change from 7:30 to 7 o'clock in that as well. So is there any discussion? Yeah, sure.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 2016 Town Council meeting schedule.
Second. Quick question, have you gone over every holiday? I mean, I know we bumped up into a few, a couple of, we've gone over thoroughly every holiday, every school closing, every
I like to think so.
tree lighting,
Close
every.
enough.
The Jewish holidays that kind of mess us up.
Yeah, I like to think so, but if there is anything, I'm guessing that we'll get to it, far enough in advance to address it. But obviously, if anything comes up, we'll take care of it. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? The 2016 council meeting schedule is adopted. And number 8, the town council rules and procedures. A couple of comments on this. My initial thought was just to change the 7:30 to 7 o'clock time. Attorney John Tower had taken a look at it and suggested a number of changes. And if you'd like, we do have the changes highlighted in this kind of addendum that I could pass around. But in discussing it with Attorney Tower, his suggestions were based upon conforming the town council rules with the charter and with what already is the unwritten procedure of the council. And most of it has to do with setting the agenda and the discretion to set the agenda. Another change that I would note is reducing from public comment from 10 minutes to 5 minutes with a 3-minute rebuttal. But obviously, if there's a matter of import, we could always suspend that rule as well. Would anybody like to see these changes? Yes, Mr.
I
Ward.
just wanted, the first item, to give you an idea of what the change was. You have to submit anything you want on the agenda to the mayor in writing 7 days before. That's the way it was. But that didn't say anything in here that the mayor sets the agenda. And that added sentence is enabling the mayor to set the agenda. We all did that practice, but it was never written down. So those are the kind of rules that he's talking about that they changed. It makes it more clear to the public and how they gain access.
Right.
I just have
Sure.
a question.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, I mean, you just mentioned the public comment, so you put it down to 5 minutes.
Right.
And what did you say about rebuttal? Because normally with public comment, we don't rebut.
It's in paragraph 6.
Oh.
And if you see the prior,
Oh, for another 3 minutes.
Right, for
gotcha.
another 3, yeah, exactly.
Okay, right, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Mayor, can I see it?
Yeah, sure. Here's the highlighted portion of the things that are added.
Can someone just verbally go through it to us,
Sure.
the rest of us?
And you know what? Maybe I'll read it, we gotta go through it together.
Yeah, just the addition.
Sure. So in paragraph 1, the addition is the last sentence. The mayor shall have the sole discretion as to whether to place any such proposed item on a future town council agenda, subject to paragraph 2. And that's with regard to paragraph 1 talks about the ability of the public to put a matter on the agenda. But it's always within the mayor's discretion as to what actually goes on. So I think that just clarifies that. And in paragraph 2, it talks
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
comment, Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Charter states that a town councilman, you're saying 7, I thought it was 5 days prior, can ask for something to be on the agenda, and
Right.
it is on the agenda.
Right.
So are you saying with this new change is that per your discretion, you would not
No.
have that on there?
No, this is only relating to the public's ability to put something on the
Okay.
agenda. You can
So-
see these paragraphs are actually out of order.
Okay.
Number 3 talks about the ability of, let's see, what is it?
5 days?
Yeah, 5 days. And number 2 talks about, the ability of the town council member to, so that doesn't change.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And in paragraph 2, the last sentence was added, but the mayor shall have sole discretion as to whether to place any such item on a future agenda, subject always to a 2/3 vote by the members of the town council. So I believe that's just been the prior practice as well. In paragraph 3, the last line, the mayor may amend or modify the agenda at any time prior to the town council meeting in question, consistent with the Connecticut General Statutes. And again, I believe that's been the rule in the past, where even though the agenda has been published 5 days before, there's always the opportunity to amend it, and that frequently is required by circumstance. Number 4, the change was from 7:30 to 7 o'clock in the fourth line. And number 5, instead of being the 10th edition, it's the 11th edition of Robert's Rules.
Just the last line in there still refers to 10th edition.
Right.
It does refer to the 10th edition. I will make a note of
Thanks.
that. Yep, thank you. Number 6, we have the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. It was never actually in the rules, so I put that in there to kind of codify it. And like I said before, the opportunity of the public, there's still public comments, reduced from 10 minutes to 5 minutes, and then the rebuttal to is still 3 minutes. And number 7, moving the adjournment of the meeting from 10:30 to 10 o'clock, since we're starting a half hour early as well. Conforming to 7 o'clock time works as well. And should just the meeting of the minutes have been approved, it's the same thing, instead of saying haven't been disposed of. There's no changes to 8, no changes to 9. And number 11.
Mayor, I think that there is a Scribner error in paragraph 10. It says Connecticut General Statutes as opposed to statutes.
Very good. That's statutes, very well noted. Thank you very much, Mr. Tower.
Thank you. Bobby's earning his pay already.
All right.
Number 11, in the 5th line down, the mayor shall be required to call a special meeting upon the written petition. I believe it was just petition before, but petition means, I think, written anyway, 5 members of the town council. Towards the end, after special meeting, 3 lines from the bottom, but such requirement may be waived by the mayor under exigent circumstances. So that's the calling of a special meeting. Number 12, it added the mayor or members of the town council may invite to the table individuals to provide testimony. And in addition to its, we added meetings and public hearings in paragraph 13. That regards the FOIA requirements.
And statutes.
Yeah, once again, we get that Scribner.
Yes. Is it statutes again? That's what happens when you rely on autocorrect.
Right.
And should meeting be plural?
It's meetings, very good, that's what that.
We've never worked on this before. We all have to take a portion of the blame.
That's it, and that's
Following the statutes.
following statutes.
We follow statutes for a while.
Don't be surprised by statute. Number 14 and 15, there were no changes. So is there any other discussion?
We add an amended date to the last page.
Yes, it'll be as amended, 12/2.
Or 2.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the rules and procedures as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The amended we move for town council rules and procedures as of 12/2/2015 are adopted. There being no further items on the agenda. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Because we're changing our meeting from 7:30 to 7, we should probably get a press release to the public, so that we're not pulling a fast one.
Right.
So when you report that to the reporter, probably just mention that we're doing our meeting date time.
I will,
Yeah, there's not.
Nobody,
I was going to ask you then how
nobody.
Mary Jane retired. I was going to ask if it was not convenient for you before, for your schedule.
Right.
right.
Now that you retired, I was Mary.
She's an experienced retiree.
Yes, she is.
In response, the mayor's office will issue a press release tomorrow, and we will make the arrangements to post it on the website as well. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Yes.
I just wanted to point out that our charter in section 404 has a description of what is to be accomplished at this meeting. It's just a very small and fine point that may have been covered. And that, it says this, it says, at the first meeting of the town council, following each 2-year election, the council shall by resolution fix the time and place of its regular meetings, which I think you've done, and provide a method for calling of special meetings, all to be called and held in accordance with provisions of Chapter 3 of the Town Code statutes.
Yeah.
My point is, I think we've provided for the method of calling special meetings in our rules.
I believe so.
I just wanted your honor to
It's
consider that.
Okay.
Item 10.
I do think it's covered.
Yes.
But if you wanted to, for example, to include any other provisions on email notification of a special meeting, I don't know if that needs or warrants discussion.
Well, at the risk of amending the town rules, anymore, the common practice, and I can say this, it is to provide notice of meetings by email and also by, personal delivery where necessary. Is there any objection to continuing that kind of?
I think that the first call is, email is not sufficient,
Okay.
because you don't know whether the person's going to be able to make it or not. So if you're going to have a special meeting and you're not going to get it a quorum, you defeat the purpose. So everybody should be called. That's what the mayor's office has been doing. I don't think we had a couple of special meetings,
There's only
but
a few of them.
they made
Right.
it a point to call everybody.
Right.
And so, going forward, I would make sure, email is, the backup, but the primary will be confirming with either, a phone call or a face-to-face conversation. Agreed?
Yeah.
Objection?
No, it's
Okay.
Or if it's easy, it's send an email and people respond quickly, then you don't have to reach out to us.
Right.
Save you time,
Right.
The idea is just to make sure that you have contact
Yeah,
and that the
exactly.
person is informed.
Yeah.
So, we'll take reasonable efforts to achieve that. No further matters?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Thank you. All in favor?
Think about that, economic development.